Okay, everybody, here's an educational video on the trade setups that I'm looking at, okay? Because you got to be clear when I send out signals, you have to know, okay, when I say, hey, just go small and instantly put on a trailing stop, here's what I mean, okay? Because you got to get this and understand. Some trades, even though on the shorter time frames, they're perfect setups, as you can see here goes one, here goes one. And this is one, as you can see, this is my green line where I entered, okay? And so as you can see, this is the CAD JPY 30-minute chart. I'm completely thrilled with this trade right here. Literally just got in it. You have the triple L's here to the downside. And if I move this down a little bit, our little mountain, it confirms it's in the red zone, okay? So the point is, here's why I'm cool with this one, okay? Because let's go to the higher time frames because this is what you have to learn. Okay, some trades you'll see a setup, but it's just a pullback on the longer time frames. On the shorter time frames, yeah, you'll see great setups, but you got to match it up with the longer time frame. So I'm gonna show you a couple of examples to give you this educational point. So right here, I'm on a 30-minute chart, triple arrows. Okay, so I'm perfectly comfortable with putting a nice trade on that with my stop loss above the big arrow. Let's do that right here. Boom. And walk away. I'm done. Here's the reason why. If I go here to the 1 hour time frame, I see the big arrow. Do I see the triple arrows yet? No, I don't, but it's okay. I still see the big arrow pointing saying, hey, trend change on the 1 hour. I go to the 4 hour. Here's our channels, our auto channels. What do we see? It has literally stopped, boom, right there on the channel. See that? Boom. It stopped right there on the channel, dead smack on the channel. Maybe this candle will come up, touch the channel and retouch it again. And then I'm expecting it to come to the other side of this channel, which is a tremendous amount of pips. Okay. But the point is that we have the big arrow on the 4 hour. We had it on the 1 hour. And here's more importantly, as you can see, confirmation on the daily. It broke out of this channel because you can see it was trending within the channel, came out of the channel, broke. Okay. Big event, shot up. The CAD news came out last night or something happened in the CAD, broke out of the channel. But what am I expecting? A drop back in because there's a confirmation of a big candle, a big arrow right here on the daily. So if you go all the way back from the daily, let's check the weekly. Okay, the weekly is different. I don't really trade weekly. That's too far out anyway. But if you look at the daily, and that's as far back as I go up to the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, and then I reduce it to the 15. Every single one of these time frames are all saying the exact same message that this is going to go in the same direction, down. So I'm perfectly okay with that one. Okay, let me show you an example, one that I would not be in for a very long time, and I'll show you this trade because this is one we took earlier. Right here, we took it right about here. It bounced off this channel, came up. And of course, and I told everybody put a trailing stop on this trade because I said, look on the daily. And this is the message I said. What do you see on the daily? You see triple arrows on the daily, meaning that this thing is actually going to go down for quite some time. It was doing a pullback. So therefore, I knew do not stay in there long because if I look on the longer time frame, the daily, what do you see? Triple arrows, 1, 2, 3, red zone. Okay, so if we saw this here, yes, we made a little something for those who followed directions. Here's what we did. You would have made a little something. We got in right about here. And then, boom, it hit up to the top of that channel. That was about 40 good pips. Okay, as soon as it hit the top of that channel, and this is why you leave your channels on, you can know this. You will see exactly what I'm seeing so that when I send these signals out, you'll know exactly why I'm saying the message that I'm saying. If I say put on the trailing stop right away, you already know, okay, let me check the higher time frames, okay? I want you guys to be educated in what you're doing. So, of course, yes, this was a 40 pip move. It literally, as you can see, it literally touched right to the top of this channel and came back up, retested, and dropped. Why did I know it was going to drop? And I even told you guys it's going to drop. How did I know that? Look at what the daily is saying right here, down. So that's a contradictory trade. What is this saying? Triple arrows. We don't have triple on the green, just on the red. So what is that saying? Down. Mountain, red. Okay. So I knew, yeah, we had the triple arrows on the 30 and we jumped in that thing. And for those who follow through with the trailing stop, made about maybe 30 good pips, 40 good pips, Then you cashed out and go the opposite direction because of the contradiction. Okay, so here's the difference again, one more time. This one, this the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute. Do you think that we can stay in this trade long term? Yes, I believe so. Now, if it comes up and touches us, okay, no big deal. I'll wait for it to reset, and I'm definitely going to ride this thing out. Why? Because from the daily all the way down to the 15-minute, the big arrow is saying the same exact message. Down, down, down. Okay? So again, the market makers may spike up, hit your stop loss, manipulate to do whatever, but overall, I'm not worried about it. I know exactly where this thing is going. Okay? Because the message across the board is exactly the same. This is a contradictory trade. And yes, you can make money off of it, which those of us who follow through, we did. This is a contradiction. When the big arrow was over here, because this is the only one that repaints in our system. Okay, it does repaint, but the other ones do not move. That's why you wait for the triple arrows to show up. That's triple arrow system as it did here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, when they're all together, then you take your trade. So this one was up here earlier when we took the trade. It did move up inside the channel, created about 40 pips. And then if you had your trailing stop, you probably would have got stopped out right about here, which means you probably would have made about 30 good pips. And then, like I told you guys, pay attention to the daily. Triple arrows, we already know, don't stay in there long. It's going down. That's a contradictory trade. So you can make little short pip runs on those, but the longer ones that's making you comfortable and feeling warm and fuzzy is the ones where all the way from the daily all the way down to the 30-minute, and yes, even on the 15, that just makes you feel real warm and fuzzy because you already know overall, long-term and short are all communicating the same message. Okay, hope this video helped. If you have any questions, I'll answer it in the group Telegram channel. All right. Thank you guys. And for those who don't have our system, it's a one-time $2.99 for the system, and you get lifetime signals, and you'll be part of the group where we'll be able to communicate with you and talk about the trade setups that we're taking, and you'll get more education and stuff like that. Okay. So anyway, thank you for paying attention to this video. Hopefully this helped you understand how market structure work. Okay. Market structure. People always talk about market structure. Okay, we have it in a simplified visual way where you can actually see what's going on. Even here, you can see it's trending within our channels. So if it's bouncing within our channels, like I said, the worst case scenario may come up and hit this stop if it breaks out with a spike candle. And I taught you that in the prior video, how it typically market makers, when they know it's going to be a huge drop, they'll send out a spike candle. But in some situations, they won't. So we don't never know that. So we do have a protective stop loss in place for a little small miniature loss compared to the hundreds of pips that's available. Okay, so for those who already are always talking about risk reward ratio, how much better is that? This small loss compared to this big move. Look at this one. I'm going to slide this over so you can see. See that little stop loss? Let me shrink this so you would see how we do things here. If, according to the rules, when you take a position after the triple arrows, 1, 2, 3, you put your stop loss right here. So that's a small loss, but look at the move that it made. Look at this. From here. Well, we got it in here above the yellow arrow all the way up to here. That's 263 pips compared to what is the stop loss on this one? 31 pips. Okay, 31 pips. Not much at all. Okay, so this is a demo account. I'm going to be trading this on my other account, but I just want to show you guys the difference between the two. So therefore, because some people, they trying to look up your account number. No, you ain't gonna get to see mine, nosy people. But you guys get the point. Hopefully this helped provide you some education as to what I look for when I say, okay, I'm gonna stay in this thing for a long time and not even worry, versus, hey, you know what, let me just scalp a little bit, get 30, 40, 50 quick pips, and then follow it on through to the other side. I'm always looking for long-term ones. I'm looking for confirmation of the big arrow on the 1 hour, 4 hour, and the daily. Okay. All right. Hopefully this helped. Bye.